When's the last time you watched 106 in Park?
Last time it was hot.
What's the weather? What's the weather today, y'all?
When Little Bow Wow was on there.
You got a problem with Lil Bow Wow?
I ain't got a problem with Lil Bow Wow. Lil Bow Wow got some bomb ass pussy.
Yeah, he really did say that. And it occurred to me that this was one of my favorite Disney people. He was on That's So Raven, and even more importantly, a show that I absolutely love, Fillmore. I couldn't believe it. This guy was my childhood. And when I looked him up on the internet, all I saw were articles where he did some crazy stuff. What in the world happened to my guy Orlando Brown? I had to figure this out. So one of my favorite Disney stars from That's So Raven said to one of my favorite old school rappers that he has, and I quote, a bomb-ass pussy. It's a very weird phrase considering the man doesn't have a vagina, but I had to examine, not the vagina, the story. Fun fact, by the way, I auditioned for Disney Channel when I was younger. I auditioned by Saved by the Bell, and I got saved by the bell for not actually getting into that because Lord knows I wouldn't end up like this. I was wondering where Orlando Brown was, and what I mean by that is where his mind is at. I wanted to do a deep dive into the topic and actually write some points about him, but I felt like I couldn't do it here in New Zealand. I needed to go over to Australia. So I did. So I guess the best place to start with this deep dive is at the very end. Why exactly would Orlando Brown say such a thing? I went onto the internet and found the article in which he said it. Bow Wow reacts to Orlando Brown saying he has some bomb-ass pussy. Brown responds. Yeah, so weirdly enough, on his latest interview, Orlando Brown said that about Bow Wow. Bow Wow is most well known for a slew of things like Tokyo Drift and songs, and also faking a private jet. What happened was Orlando Brown said that he had that, and Bow Wow responded saying, is a bit crazy, and Orlando Brown sort of, instead of just being okay with it, doubled down. He says this.
You got to tell people the truth, Bow Wow. Tell people the truth, bro. If you got bomb, you got to embrace that. Wow.
So yeah, he doubled down on the Bow Wow comments, and Bow Wow was absolutely Thanos snapped out of existence. But I went back in time. Turns out this is not the only time Orlando Brown has gotten very sensual with another man. He did it years back with Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon being the person who has hella kids. That's what you know him for. That's what he does. He also wears turbans on his head from time to time. Don't know why. Ex-Disney star Orlando Brown claims Nick Cannon gave him oral sex as a female. Nick responds. So apparently, a while back, Orlando Brown was walking through a store and he said, Nick, you suck my dick. Exactly like that. Take a listen.
Oh, don't worry about Nick. Okay, look, fine, okay? You want me to tell everybody? You want me to let everybody know what happened? Okay, fine. Nick, I let you suck my dick. Okay? I liked it. It was okay. Fine.
He said, I liked it, it was okay, it was fine. Like, it was some roller coaster ride he went on. He's like, yeah, it was alright. I wouldn't do it again, but like, Nick Cannon responded in a more appropriate fashion than Bow Wow by saying this man needs help and we all need to take this as a learning moment. And he posted that on his Instagram. What I found funny about that was that he never once denied it, which would have been the first thing I would have done, but to each their own. And here we now are. Orlando Brown, a man who has clearly gone off the rails at some point and went from a Disney star. And I think that what I'm going to try to do with this deep dive is prove that there is definitely a correlation between child stars and them not being able to make that transition into adulthood, because I would imagine it's very hard to make that transition without really knowing how to do it, or seeing yourself so young have such a grip on power and not being able to take it to the next level. So there's a lot that I want to examine, and I want to make it clear before we start the video that like it's easy to exploit someone and be like, oh, they're crazy. I think what I'm trying to do is just get to the bottom of this and understand it, because at the very core, I really do love this man's work. I am a big fan and he's a legend in my book. So I'm not doing this out of anything bad. I'm doing it out of respect. And yes, I'll make a couple jokes, but Orlando Brown, if you're somehow watching this, I love you, man. Don't give up. Gather around, kids, and let me tell you about my favorite VPN provider, ExpressVPN, who is also partnered with me to make today's video possible. I love using ExpressVPN to watch content that isn't normally available to me. This week's movie is Tenet, and Netflix Canada came through clutch because it's not available on Netflix where I live. All I did was connect to Canada through ExpressVPN, then Tenet magically appeared when I opened Netflix. I'll be honest, when I watched this movie for the first time through, there was a lot that I didn't catch, Christopher Nolan does that. I mean, Inception, Batman, just so many. Needless to say, I was really excited to give it another watch. Don't have a Netflix account or friends whose password you could steal? Well, ExpressVPN can actually help with that too. By changing your IP address, your browser is tricked into thinking it's elsewhere. Here's the tip. Try purchasing a Netflix subscription from a different country's IP. You'll find that different countries change different prices for the same service. This doesn't just work for Netflix, but general online shopping. Learn how to get 3 months of ExpressVPN for free by visiting expressvpn.com/sixteenleo or click the link in the description below. You'll be directly supporting my channel. Thank you, ExpressVPN, for your continued support on the channel. Also, before we start the video, if you'd like to subscribe, please do so if you like the video, and also hit me up on my Instagram at sixteenleo_. I'm now verified. I got the blue tick, so off to Australia we go. So let's now go to the beginning. Orlando Brown is a child actor. He started off acting since he was 1995 when he was 8 years old. He booked roles in many films like Major Pain, and he's also been on television for a very long time. His most notable role, of course, is That's So Raven, where he plays Eddie, and also my favorite, Fillmore, the voice of Cornelius Fillmore, where he acts in. After being on That's So Raven for 4 years, stuff sort of slowed down for him. He grew up a little more, and he didn't get as many roles. And because of his substance influence and things that he was using at the time, his career sort of started drifting. And as he used more narcotics, his opinions and views and actions led him to be ostracized from Hollywood and acting and entertainment in general. His last big television thing was Hell's Kitchen in 2011, where he was on there for one episode. Things started in about 2016 when he was accused of DA, obstruction of justice, possession with intent to sell, which he himself admits, and a lot of other things. So in 2015, on August the 14th, that was the last time Orlando Brown was really seen in a very positive light. He was on The View, which Raven Simone is on. From That's So Raven. She was Raven. She had the eye thing. She could have seen the shit happening. I'm just saying. Anyway, thing is, they had a very nice reunion and things were looking pretty good.
We're talking to family all the time.
Yeah.
It turned into like something that was very, very epic, and I think that's what
Yep, so this is 2015. Orlando Brown seems like a sober, happy person. He's on a reunion show. He just got cast in the movie Straight Outta Compton. He played a bit part. I think they cut him out a little bit, but he was there in it. So he's still working and still fully aware of his actions. Everything was going well. In fact, you could see him dancing at the start. He's still a good entertainer. For what he is a very talented person to this day. But this is the last time that people have seen him in recent memory where he's been fully aware of his surroundings. Even though he'll tell you he's more aware than ever, I think that's the LSD talking or something.
Cast Straight Outta Compton, you make your appearance in there as well.
It's very cool to be a part of history. I really, they had me with a little herbal cigarette and it was water inside the 40-ounce bottle.
It's kind of weird that the last thing that they said on that segment was Orlando Brown talking about what he was doing on set, and he's like, it was a 40-ounce bottle, but it was water. And then they joked, they're like, yeah, I don't believe that for a second. It sort of foreshadows what's to come. Because in 2015, although he was good, by 2016, things had started happening. His record just got longer and longer. In fact, in 2016, for some reason, Orlando Brown debuted a public tattoo of Raven. That's So Raven on his neck. It was taken in a mugshot. I have no idea. That is weird. That's like Troy Bolton getting a tattoo of Vanessa Hudgens on his ass. You don't want that to happen, you know? So how is Orlando Brown now, you may ask? You may not have seen what has happened to the man. Well, let me show you. Brace.
I said come here and let me tickle your pussy.
There we go. There it is.
I tickle it this way.
Yep. Oh, no.
I tickle it that way.
Yep.
You ever had diamonds on your pussy, bitch? Diamonds in the crevice of your pussy.
I don't have a crevice off a pussy. He was on That's So Raven.
You got on bail, bro?
Wow, that was actually really funny. I'm not gonna lie. Nah, yeah. That was a bit too funny for what it should have been. He still maintains his comedic timing even though he's been timed out in jail.
I got to have sex with one handicapped girl. It was one handicapped bitch, and she was beautiful. She couldn't really stand up. She was in a wheelchair, but when, she jumped on my dick, she vibrated, like
So clearly, this is from his private Instagram and everywhere else that he's probably banned on now. It seems like it's a cry for help. I couldn't put together a timeline for when everything started, but if there's anything that this is, it's provoking. And it's definitely attention grabbing. And if we're gonna start really analyzing this person, you gotta wonder why he's saying the things he's saying and why he hasn't said them before. Because when you want to protect your image, you're not really gonna be talking like this, are you? But when you want people to really hear you and you want them to come back, you might say something. What I'm trying to say is that it's conceivable that this man was a child star that might have lost some of his fame and didn't know how to process the fact that he had transitioned into an adult and wasn't booking as many roles and gigs, things that he didn't know when he was a child that didn't prepare him for the real world and didn't know how to do it. So he started using maybe narcotics, and then it led him to this, where he's trying to get attention. I'm just saying, it's a theory, and it's the theory that I'm going to hold towards the end. We'll talk about it more, but I think there's a reason that he's talking so abrasively.
I'm gonna keep you. You know what I mean? Like, you're a fucking keeper. She's like, I'm like, damn, so you can't walk and you can't talk. You know what? This is the perfect shit.
If she can't talk, how'd you get her to... Is it consensual? He was also caught by some fans outside of a Walmart being really, really suspicious and saying some really sad stuff. And it's kind of heartbreaking to watch.
What the fuck is you on camera trying to act like you? The nigga, I'm the man. What the fuck is you talking about? I have a family van. You see the kids? It's all about the kids.
It's really sad to look at this and see that this man is outside of a Walmart with a minivan when he self-proclaimed that he spent $80,000 on a Dodge Escalade or something when he was younger. And clearly finances seem to be affecting him. And that's usually another issue for why childhood stars don't transition well, because they automatically think that they're going to always make the money that they're making. And when you grow up and when you realize the roles are not as often, when they don't come as often and they're not as fruitful, then it becomes like, oh, I didn't get to save. I didn't know that I had to save. I was too young. And I don't blame them. But maybe money... Maybe that is a topic for conversation, because every time he is in an interview, he is trying to plug himself, trying to talk about things that, I want to be on your show. Let me be on your show. I'm Orlando Brown. I was Eddie from That's So Raven. Can you see the future, bitch? It's me in your DMs.
You spent millions on your children.
Yeah, man.
Man, you got an iPhone 5. Fold.
Because my bitch bought it. That's all she could afford. Don't you hating on my bitch. You hating on me.
So it's now 2017, 2018, and Orlando Brown has been through some stuff. He's had a lot on his record. Someone by the name of VladTV, who interviews a lot of people, decides, let me interview the man, because he knows it'll make for some good entertainment. And so he does. And Orlando Brown agrees to this. And I'll tell you, man, Orlando Brown is a funny guy when he's off the zoinkies.
So, last time you said you were going on Fix My Life.
And my mom basically, she said no after she said yeah for whatever reasons. But that's what happens when a lot of skeletons are in people's closet.
Is it weird that I can't tell whether he's being metaphorical or physical? Check his closet, guys. Seriously. Also, I just want to say, he goes on to say that he wears the bandana like Tupac. Tupac didn't have hair, and it kind of looks like I don't know, man. Orlando Brown looking like Tupac is like Troy Bolton looking like Michael Bolton. It's not, I don't want that to happen.
Okay, but you want to do it?
No, because I don't need my life fixed.
Why did she pull out exactly?
I just answered that.
Okay.
It's a lot of skeletons in people's closets. You feel me?
We're going to try and break down this interview. It's going to be hard to follow, but yeah, let's try it. So he doesn't want his life fixed at all. His life is perfect in his own head.
I feel you. Yeah, putting your life out there is kind of...
Yeah, I'm 100, man. Don't you see what's up?
I'm seeing it. 100.
You looked at the socks too? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're also going to have to deal with a lot of him randomly laughing. This is like, if you put tense music, Inception music over it, and then take it away really fast. He's like, don't you see my socks, Vlad? yeah, what are you talking about? These are socks, man. I don't even know what that means. What do his socks say? Mine are black. Is that symbolism? I'm
Fat blunt, goddamn, I got cotton mouth. Don't you know it? Don't you know it?
Okay. 100.
Every time he laughs, he's like, oh. It looks like he's in crippling debt every time he laughs at a joke. Like the IRS people are like, we're watching you. You laugh, we're on your ass, Orlando. Every time.
You became famous young.
Yes, at 5 years old. It comes like, look, man, everything has a beginning and everything has an end.
What is this man doing in the middle of the interview? Can Vlad be like, can you sit up, Orlando? Can you sit up? Orlando's like, everything has like, its purpose in life. You know what I mean? Every single thing has like an issue, and I don't even.
In order for me to go to my dream, which was to be the CEO that I am now, and business runner, and run, in control of my own career and things of that nature.
Let me stop you right there. Let's talk a little bit about control. Let's talk about that, because that's probably a great thing. You see, I've seen many comments on Orlando Brown, people saying either he's crazy or people saying he is just completely making sense. I think neither of them are correct. I think that in between the stuff that he's saying, there's some coherency. I think it's just not coming out right. But when you talk about control, we're talking about a child career where he signed with Disney. He didn't really have any option to do anything. He was told what he was going to be. He was a sidekick to another person, an African-American male on television. And you know that Disney, as much as they say they don't, they have some prejudice. And as soon as that was over, where's he gonna go? So that control that they put over you, they just take away at the worst time. And you have no control over your own life. When you've been told what to do for so long that you don't know what to do when you're given control, sometimes you stray from the path. And I think he's saying it without even realizing, or maybe he is realizing it. I just wanted to pick up on that. I think control is a big part of fame when you're young, and being too controlled and then not being controlled. And having control over your own life when you're older is tough, especially when you grow up not knowing what that is. So that's a very important point.
Knowing how graceful, that he really is, how merciful he really is, that you can come as you are. And like I said, you don't got to come into the church house asshole naked. You don't do that, but you come as you are. You know what I mean?
Does anybody go to the church asshole naked? Can you do that at the church? Because they have wooden seats last I checked. I don't want my ass to get stuck to a wooden seat. Honestly, Orlando, that's not a bad idea. Just a robe and some balls hanging out. Like, that sounds like a good Sunday for me. I forgot the question. I'm sorry. I don't know what Vlad asked, but he got an answer and a half. Vlad was like, what coffee do you have? Orlando's like, you see.
Jesus, it's called wine. He turned it from water to wine. He turned that for, and that's a good deal. Because I usually ask for water and that's free. But he turned it into a jug. It cost $21 at a fine restaurant. Red wine from Jesus. Nope, that's not piss. That's blood. What was your question?
In their eyes, and that means that you need to keep doing it, because it's all about winning souls for this guy.
Mm-hmm. So here's another thing to bring up. It's something that I'm not fully able to process. I don't know what his intent and his relationship with God is. I think it's quite prevalent that he very much accepts God into his life, and he's like, this is what I'm doing. Is there any rule about crystal meth smoking that God had? Because I'm pretty sure God would be like, I don't think about the crystal meth is a good idea. So I'm not really sure where he stands, but he's pretty well read up on God and the Bible, and he could quote it by heart. But then in the very next sentence, he'll be like, I've been fucking this bitch in a pussy. And I just don't know what to really make of this. So I can't really comment on it more than I should. He seems to have a relationship with a man.
This is my last shot.
You think?
Oh, yeah, because I won't be able to be the lead man at 40.
Damn, that's really poignant. He's like, this is my last shot. That was the last question. I think what Vlad asked was, so you grew up as a childhood star. 20 minutes later, he's realized that this is his last shot. This is a therapy session. And he's probably right. This is his last shot. But Vlad is also right. Orlando Brown is still a very young man. He could get on track. He'll be fine, right?
Sure he could.
Oh, no, but guess what? It's not going to happen.
I mean,
Well, it's not that funny, Orlando. I don't know why you have to clap with it. You could be a star again. Guess what? It's never gonna happen. I'm never gonna be a star. You could. That dude from Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, he wears weird socks that are knee high. And he's black. Never seen a black man with knee-high socks before. That's a violation of something. A couple things that you should be afraid of in Inglewood, or maybe Compton, is the C's, the Bloods, and I guess people with the knee-high socks would be even worse than both of them. I don't know what that is. Fun fact about that dude, he did some crazy shit. If you look up what he did, I believe he ran someone over. Bull Lamar from Suite Life of Zack and Cody. Everyone on Disney sucks. I could ruin your life right now, by the way. You ever wanted to know what's so cool about Buzz Lightyear? He used to sell cocaine and he went to jail for it. The only reason he's not in jail is because he snitched on people. That's right. The voice of Buzz Lightyear actually used to sell coke.
I don't remember it being this hard.
The point is, Orlando Brown, not unlike everyone else, has made mistakes. Maybe he could find the path to righteousness, actually get back clean and sober. But he doesn't seem to feel that way. He's laughing and clapping about it.
Jay-Z's 40 something.
I mean, but that's an old. I think that should be like 50.
Nope, no, he's 40. Come on. That was the funniest part of the interview. He's like, Jay-Z's still leading, man. Yes, but he's old. He's like 40. Nah, he's like 50. He just like randomly said 10 years older for no reason. Orlando Brown has like, I feel like he's got thoughts and they're already in his head and he can't shift them. Like as soon as he thinks something, Jay-Z's 40, he's old. He'll never be a leading man. A leading man in what, Orlando? He's not trying to lead in anything other than the music. And then Vlad asks him another question that's a leading question. And you should know, don't ask Orlando Brown questions because he'll answer them. And boy, does he answer them. He just asked.
Okay, but I mean between 5 and 13, like what were you doing? Like,
oh man, well between 5 and 13.
And Orlando Brown went, oh, that's 8 years of my life, and explained every single day of those 8 years.
I did wherever it was that we can stay. Yeah, I did. No, not Miami Vice. Just like he had by himself.
Oh yeah, I know.
That was all those years. But knowing that everybody, repetitiously that they love, and I can go on and on and on.
Yeah, you really could.
Most kids during that age are in school, they're chasing girls, they're doing sports and all
At
that.
5?
Well, I mean,
what was
12.
you doing? How big is your dick, nigga?
Well, you know what? Orlando Brown makes a good point. VladTV's like, man, most people, when they were young, were chasing girls. And Orlando's like, wait a minute. 5 years old, but you chasing girls? And then he asked, the classic question you ask all the homies. How big is your dick? Tell me, please. Show me.
Pretty big.
You saying you had a dick like this in your pamper?
Did I say that?
Nah.
Well, not like a fist. That's a very big... This conversation has gone off the rails. Damn, he falls quick under pressure, huh? He almost had me. I thought this was a serious moment. He's like, how big's your dick? Huh? Is it this big? And all Vlad said was, did I say that? He's like, nah, come on, man. I just playing with you. Nah, we homies. All right.
What was it like being part of the Disney machine?
So here it is. Here is an important part of the conversation. Vlad asked an actual question. How was it being part of the Disney machine? To which Orlando Brown denies there is a Disney machine. He's saying that it's all family, it's all love.
So his wife was basically like, look here, you need to change that from more to because that's not going to work. He said, what you talking about, bitch? Look, just say Mickey.
Yes, that's how it went down. I'm sorry, Minnie Mouse then called Mortimer the N-word because he was in black and white, I'm assuming. And then he called her a bitch, and they changed the name to Mickey because it was just way better and less weird. I thank you for that explanation of how Mickey Mouse came to be. I'm gonna read that to my kids every night in bed.
Say Mickey, and then next thing you know, he was like, wait, hold on, I'm not gonna say Mickey. That's stupid. Well, you ain't gonna give me no Dickie. And then next thing you know, that's when he
became
Mickey.
Right, because Minnie said, if you don't change it to Mickey, you're not gonna give me the Dickie. Yo, man, this man need help. We need to help this man. No Mickey. No Dickie. I feel like that should be a code for help. If you say the words no Mickey, no Dickie, and you're from Disney at any point, a Disney person should reach out to you and be like, you need some help, bro. I feel like that's what was necessary to happen. Anytime you could start talking about Mickey Mouse's penis in a conversation and not laugh, you need help. If you can say Minnie Mouse said the N-word to Mickey Mouse, you need some help. Everyone's just sitting there acting like this is an okay thing to talk about. This is like talking about SpongeBob's penis or something. Like what? As soon as that happens and there's no laughter, asylum or something, I don't want to hear about animated characters' dicks. Please, thank you, amen.
I mean, just like when Kiki, oh God, she was so small and so cute when she came to the set, but God damn now, and I can say that because she is old enough.
That's... Yeah, all right, man, all right. I'm not even going to say anything about that. I mean, Orlando Brown, this is probably the least of his concerns. Looking at a girl and being like, well, now that she's old enough, I find her hot. Probably the least of his concerns somehow. So that's okay.
I mean, when you see Miley go from Disney to twerking on stage and all
She's
that
doing.
stuff?
She's only thing she's doing. You know, is the same thing that I'm doing, but she's being who she is.
You twerking on people, showing your titties to people? Also, I don't think Miley Cyrus went crazy or anything. I think she just switched up. She wanted to live that life. She's still seems pretty aware of herself and surroundings at this point. I feel like she pretty much made it to the other side as normal as possible. Not really as normal, but she's doing better than a lot of people probably expected. She got the best of both worlds. I'll show myself out.
And your daddy is Billy Ray Cyrus.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Ah, you didn't have to do that one. And your daddy was Billy Ray Cyrus.
Yeah.
What even was that? That wasn't even a word. He could have at least said achy breaky heart. He could have at least said it. And you know what? Nowadays, people are gonna be like, your daddy was Billy Ray Cyrus. I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. That's what they're gonna know this man from.
Now they'll give you a character, you know, Hannah Montana. You know what I mean? Yeah, okay, great. That's it. That's what they own. But no one's to say that you won't go take pictures and do a Miley Cyrus photo shoot.
Speaking of,
They should have had a character on Disney Channel. Just hear me out. It's Orlando Brown, and he plays Eddie Brown. And on one day, he's a black guy from wherever, and on the other day, he's like Miley Cyrus. He puts on a wig, and he becomes a white girl.
Raven and Mickey Mouse, you had that line in No Fear.
Yeah.
You know what line I'm talking about?
Yeah, tell Minnie Mouse to suck my sack like Raven did when she was black. When you hear that rat-a-tat, I suggest you niggas scat.
So he's also a rapper. And I think if you really want to explore his psyche, a lot of the truth and what he says comes out in his rapping. He says, F my fame. He talks about Hollywood. He talks about how he feels ostracized. And you know what? They're bars. Really, really speaking. If they really wanted to help Orlando Brown, they'd probably listen to his music because there's a lot of truth behind it. And from what I can tell, the man really, really puts his effort into that. And he really thinks about the stuff that he wants to say, even though some of it's provocative and just to get attention. I think the cry for help is there through his music.
This is not a dance. I'm begging for help. I'm screaming for help. Please come let me out.
He's actually trying to tell you about himself, which is crazy because not many people know this through his music. Sometimes I feel like he feels like he hasn't been heard, which is what seems to be the case.
I mean, I told you in the first interview, I mean, she gave me, and then I gave her some.
Never mind, fuck what I just said. I don't even know what the hell is wrong with me. What even is, what?
Gave her some.
What is he speaking in tongues for? No, don't look at me like I'm supposed to know what happened. Don't look at me like, don't do that. I've never done that and the woman's like, are you doing jazz music? I've never done it. I've never scattered on that. Scat means something completely different. Don't look it up. Scatting in jazz just means saying boop, dap, boop, boop, boop. It means something completely different. Don't look it up, please. He's talking about giving oral pleasure to Raven Simone, of all people. And somehow the way he chooses to say this is boop, bop, doop. I gave it a soup top. Yeah.
Well, you made another video about licking her breath.
Yeah, the area.
Hey, can we go back to what this was? We're gonna go back to why he just decided to do a jazz single. Does she deny it? I need to know why Orlando Brown is saying it and also why he's saying it the way he's saying it.
It was a smooth titty. Okay, it was smooth at the bottom.
Oh, now they're talking about him doing stuff to, okay, well, this is just, you just don't want to hear it from Disney stars. You don't want to hear Zach and Cody had a threesome with the Asian lady from the series. Forgot her name. London.
Okay, like Hillary Rodham. And then you go all the way to the top. Okay, and then you go to the middle. In the middle.
Oh, he's picturing it now. He's doing some real Disney magic. He's doing dun 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 dun. Help.
The middle. And when you think about the titty, you got to think about like how at a certain age. It was right here, and it went down, and it was round. That's what makes me Orlando Brown.
Yes, a titty is round, but also that was too graphic. And also, can someone verify if Raven Simone and him actually did that? Because now I really want to know What is going on with Disney? What do they do in their breaks? That's what makes you Orlando Brown? Because you visualize titty sucking? You're like the Picasso of titty sucking. I'm never gonna look at him the same way again. I can't believe he described it in detail. I can't do it. Why? He closed his eye. He actually did this like he was Salt Bae. Why, Orlando?
You made a diss song about Marcus Pope.
He know it. I sent for him.
You sent for him.
Oh, you motherfucking right, I sent for him.
So you sent some people to go get him.
He then starts talking about some other guy in which he tried to kidnap, because this is just to add to the wonderful resume of already this interview, which has gone off the rails so far. It's like Thomas the Tank Engine went AWOL and started just rampaging on people. This is what happened.
Yeah, basically to kidnap his ass.
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty evident and pretty fucking clear what kidnapping means. I don't know if anybody's ever needed to say, you know what I'm saying after saying the word kidnapping. It's quite specific, Orlando. I don't think you should be incriminating yourself on the show like this. Also, where did you get a Sherlock Holmes hat from? I didn't even see it before. What is this?
Okay, so you sent some people to go get him.
Mm-hmm.
Did they get him?
Hell no. I love him.
Well, then they suck then. Well, you couldn't even do that, right? What do you, fail at kidnapping people? What do you, Orlando, at least do it if you're gonna say it. Man, I should kick your ass. Did you? Nah, at least do it if you're gonna say it.
Can you call me? Because he get the point now. You know, Jay can call me because he get the point now. Khan can call me because they get the point now. Everybody see the point now. I'm better than them.
Yeah, we're at the point where Orlando Brown saying stuff like this is just going under everyone's radar. Saying better than your Kanye West is, you know, almost a sin at this point, and Jay-Z, but people are just like, yeah, it's Orlando Brown. He made that rap where he was Eddie and he plays basketball. Good stuff. I feel like we're just avoiding what the actual issue is, and hopefully we start getting into the substance, talking about that.
Say, okay, I'm not going to focus on the acting. I'm going to focus on the music instead.
When I found out that was the only way that I had an outlet to let people know that I'm not crazy.
I mean, there it is. It was the point that I talked about and erased. That's exactly, he actually basically clarified what I said. That his outlet to let people know in which his conscious stream is forming is his music. And unfortunately, that's the thing that people aren't really listening to. Because it's provocative, it's music, and not everybody's going to hear it. But he's probably saying some of the realest stuff that he says on there.
When you watch the videos and you read the comments, people think you're crazy.
No, not now.
No?
Not now.
I mean, the last interview, you look at the comments.
Oh yeah, well, last interview, yeah. Yeah.
I feel you. I mean, you got some crazy videos out there.
Yeah, intentionally done.
Intentionally done.
Strategic, just like I said in the last interview, strategically planned as a marketing strategy to platform what I'm doing now.
Is everything?
He will go on to say this in multiple interviews, that him being crazy, let's put it in quotations, crazy, planned. Much like the video of Nikocado, I don't know if you've seen it, where Nikocado says it was all going to his plan. Orlando Brown is claiming that him doing all these antics and stunts are planned things in order to get attention for him to then platform and do better things. When you actually ask about the better things that he wants to do, you'll see that they're so far from where he is now that they're almost unachievable at this state. So you have to question yourself and ask yourself, does he think that they're all planned, or is he actually planning them? I think that it's not actually true. Obviously, it's not that he's planned them. He's unfortunately done these things and thinks that it'll lead him to a better place. But every time he does something crazy, it leads him further from the place that he might actually want to be in. Because at the end of the day, when you look at his intentions, they're pretty good. He wants to have some sort of show of his own. He wants to get back into television. He wants to be well known. But he's going to be notorious and well known for the wrong reasons if he keeps this up. As Dave Chappelle famously said, you can't get unfamous, but you can get infamous.
Cool with you? I mean, because I know you were going through some drama at one point.
I have never been more intact.
If this is intact, I'm a fucking shell of myself. I'm Michelle Obama. I like how he claps when he laughs.
And stand together. One will be the human race, taking the first steps and changing the world in different ways.
Change the world, make it a better place for you and for me and Orlando Brown's face. I appreciate the sentiment. I think that his head's so far in the clouds sometimes. He's like, what we need to do, guys, is chill out. There's no such thing as black, white, yellow, brown, whatever. Turn that frown upside down, Mama Brown. You're a human now. I wish it was that easy, Orlando.
Like me, I'm getting ready to start the Million Kid March.
Million Kid March?
Yeah.
What? Sorry, what?
Basically,
like
I'm going to raise $10 million. And then what I'm going to do is go over to the children's hospital and
What?
I'm gonna basically take a whole bunch of
Well, you're gonna take the kid. Why you're taking the kids?
the kids out, whether they're in a wheelchair or wherever.
Then wheelchair. Why are you taking kids in wheelchairs away from hospital? That's the place they need to be, Orlando. People like having chemo. You're like, get out of here. Get out the chair. No, I'm fucking dying. Get out. You have to walk. You know they're not gonna make it. When you take people from a hospital, if you're gonna take 1 million of them, not 1 million is not gonna make it if you're gonna walk with them. They're kids. I can see this motherfucker pushing kids down, like kicking them in the wheelchair, being like, go. Just go, little Timmy. Million Kid March. What? They had the Million Man March on Selma back in the day for like racial equality. What's the Kid March for? Explain.
We're gonna march all the way up Wilshire to Hollywood Boulevard, where there's gonna be giraffes and all.
You got giraffes by the sick kids. Why are the giraffes by the kids, Orlando? Why do the kids need, if they're walking, why do they need to see giraffes? Is this the Serengeti? What? Why are there giraffes and sick kids and kids in a wheelchair walking away from the hospital where they need to be? Orlando.
We got, Hollywood Boulevard gonna be blocked off. We're gonna be performing. We got the.
They're sick kids, Orlando. Why are they performing? This guy is sick, Orlando. His wish is for you not to fuck his day up.
Youngster artists out there. Team CEO is gonna be there. We got. Food trucks out there.
Have you ever had a Make-A-Wish kid and the kid's like, I wish you would leave me alone, Orlando?
Have like some of the biggest people there, I plan on having Miley, all these a whole bunch of people that are detrimentally big to these hurt kids and these parents.
Detrimentally big. I never heard a more ironical. It's a You're detrimentally big to these kids. I never heard a more backhanded compliment than Miley Cyrus before. You're detrimentally big. Do you know that? Do you know what that means? That's like saying it's so bad that you mean so much to these people. It's horrible that these kids think so much of you, Miley Cyrus. I love how he said that and nobody even batted an eye. He's like, yeah, she's detrimentally big to people. People somehow like her, and I don't know.
Me personally, I get so mad when I go in and I do the Make-A-Wish Foundation type of shit. You gotta go in there and look at the parents dead in the eye. Can't pay the bill because they gotta pay for tissue.
Huh? I don't. Anybody following that one? I don't know if I followed the pay for tissue, maybe because they're crying. Also saying the words, I have to look their parents dead in the eye while you're doing a Make-A-Wish to a kid. Very, very bad syntax. I just want to say that. So that seems to be his plan. Although well-intentioned, very, very flawed. And if this is a tactic, him being crazy and talking about eating people out and many other things, I don't think that's going to put you in the best light to be able to take 1 million sick kids and walk with them. Do you see what I mean, Orlando? Unfortunately, your actions don't align up with your goals. And that, to me, is the issue. So we need to break down why exactly you're even saying this. But let me ask you a question. Why do you think he's so for the kids? I mean, really, I was thinking about it the whole of last night when I was sifting through the footage. Why is he so adamant on helping the kids? Why was Michael Jackson so adamant on helping the kids? It's because they had their childhood taken away from them and they didn't have it and they want that to be better for other people. I don't have parents who are together. I have a dad who's just not good. My innate fear is that I will be a bad dad. And so I've done everything in my power to be I want to be a good dad. So I think what's happening, if we really look deep into what's happening here, is that Orlando Brown might have had a childhood that wasn't as good as people think, just because he was on a show. And because he didn't have time to really live that childhood, he's now trying to make up for it with other people. And I think that's what the Million Kid March is. So I'm gonna write that down as just a note. Million Kid March. The reason he's not talking about adults or prejudice or anything else that might be going on in the world is because maybe deep down he felt that he wasn't given enough nurturing care or attention or something as a child, and that he needs to do that to which he didn't have for other people. Does it make sense? I feel like I might have something here. So that was the interview with VladTV. Next up, he went on Dr. Full because his manager said that we were going to try and get him help. And Orlando Brown, throughout this interview, is high as a kite. This man is so high that he wore different colored contacts because although he thought he was slick and made whatever excuse he made, he knew that his eyes would be so baked that people would be able to tell. So he tried wearing contacts to see if that would help. Didn't. This man is zoned the fuck out. I don't know if he had that Cali Kush, but he has something, and Dr. Full is trying to help him. And you know our man Dr. Full is like, you need help! And then does nothing else, because he's Dr. Full. So usually he'll just repeat himself 3 to 4 times and be like, the hour is up, I'm going to get chili. So that's all that's gonna happen here, but what a wild episode this was.
New Dr. Phil. From Disney star to homeless and in danger.
From Disney star to meth addict in danger, homeless piece of shit, Orlando Brown, he used to be famous, now he's fucked. Dr. Phil, can you help?
Orlando Brown is best known for his role as Eddie on the hit Disney Channel show, That's So Raven. As a teen, he won over fans with his charming smile.
As a teen, he won over his fans with his charming smile. That's it. That's what Dr. Full had. Someone wrote that down for Dr. Full. He won people over with his smile. All right, back to you.
Orlando has gone from a promising young actor to a homeless, mentally ill addict.
Oh God, Dr. Full, why? He's gone from a promising actor to a meth addict. What, mentally ill. Dr. Full, you can't say that about people. I thought you was a psychologist. You can't say that. Don't say that. Be nice, Mr. Full.
Take a look.
A former Disney star arrested. Orlando Brown.
Oh, I love how they keep using the same few photos because they have like 3 full photos of him. They have one where he's happy and like one where he's not happy, and they're like, we're gonna just keep showing it. This is the Dr. Full show. Legitimately, I don't know how people have sat through this many years of seeing the same photo of like one person. They're gonna keep showing it and zooming into it slowly.
Best known for his role on That's So Raven. In 2014, he struck a plea deal.
He's doing this is the same photo. This is the photo of him being like this.
After being accused of threatening to kill a woman.
Come on. Threatening to kill a woman. And then this is the pose. This is the photo you guys have. Orlando Brown was threatening to do some crazy shit. Why is that the picture? What? He looks like he's like, gotcha.
Woman and her daughter. He was also arrested on DUI charges in 2013 and in 2011, and for marijuana possession in 2007.
What is this, the picture for marijuana? Orlando Brown charged with marijuana. It's a normal picture of his face. What are you guys doing? Can you line up the pictures correctly?
He brought Orlando here to meet me, and here's what happened.
So then Dr. Full talks to Orlando Brown's manager. I just cannot tell if this guy's actually trying to help him or just get his 5 minutes of fame. I'm really not sure. You tell me. Look at this guy.
How are you, sir?
Not bad. Well, I called in because Orlando is, I don't want to diagnose him because I'm not professional, but he's obviously delusional, you know.
What is this show? What is this show? I don't want to diagnose him because I don't know like nothing about diagnosis. He's obviously though having some sort of stupid issues in his stupid brain. He's got some brain problems. He's got a lot of talent and no brains.
He's financially in shambles.
Why would you show that picture and say the words he's financially in shambles? Who took this picture and thought it was a good idea? He's financially in ruins. This guy's losing his mind. What? That picture should never be used, man.
He has a drinking problem. He smokes a lot of weed. He had no upbringing. Like, this problem started a long time ago. I don't know how he even got this far in life. Like,
God, what kind of manager says this about you? Man, this problem started ages ago, started before me. I don't even know how he's even here anymore. I mean, it's a miracle he's even alive, Dr. Full. That's why I took him on board as his manager. I was like, you're such a lost cause. Maybe I can make money off you.
What has happened that's been a problem?
Well, like, we'll be driving and we'll be listening to music, and then, you know, he'll just turn the music down and he'll be like, Will Smith is my dad.
Damn, why everybody talking about Will Smith? Like,
Keep my name out your fucking
it's just coming back to haunt everybody. Will Smith, your dad? Your dad fucked up, man. It's rewind time on his life.
We're coming to see Dr. Phil, but he keeps saying, Dr. Phil? Oh, no, that's Steve Harvey. He looked like Steve Harvey.
He's not wrong. Oh my God, Orlando Brown's a genius. He's not wrong. Dr. Full is white Steve Harvey, and Steve Harvey is black Dr. Full. Don't tell me that that's not true. That is exactly what that is. Eddie makes some good points.
And then I figured out why. He has a mental problem that he is not addressing.
Didn't he just say that he's not going to diagnose him? And then literally 5 minutes later, he's like, this man has a mental problem? Didn't he just say that he's not going to do that?
I don't want to diagnose him.
Didn't you just say that, bro?
I don't want to diagnose him because...
I hate when people say that term. I hate when people say mentally ill or dismiss people in such a negative way that they're like, nothing you say has any value. Because that's what the connotation of that is. And it's really sour and poor. Don't be someone's manager and say the words, you're mentally ill. Help them. Help them. Seriously?
I don't want to diagnose him because I'm not professional. He has a mental problem that he is not addressing.
How are you? Good to see you.
So then Orlando Brown finally makes his way to the stage, and he is, like I said, high.
Have a seat.
Alrighty.
You have some odd-looking contacts in your eyes.
Damn, that was a hard laugh. You have some odd-looking contacts. Yes.
To basically get us all back together, the cast, and off stage it was just even more magical. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's high. Yeah. As soon as you have to ask people, you know what I mean? And your head rolls back and you know your eyes are rolling back and you can't even concentrate. You don't even know where your feet are. Yeah, you high. How do I know? Next question.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, he did the Travis Scott laugh. He might as well have just said, I got the munchies. Honestly, this man looks like he's an extra from Half Baked.
Do you still speak to Raven?
Of course. Right now, it's pretty good. I want to marry her, but I gotta find out a way to ask her.
Is nobody gonna ever question the fact that this man has said he's not only slept with Raven Simone, but on this interview he said he's pretty good with her. He's trying to find a way to marry her. Dr. Frill is like, and then what'd you do? Nobody's ever gonna question the fact that he's constantly talking about Raven Simone, has a tattoo on his neck of her. Nobody's questioning this. This is just normal behavior to everyone ever. Okay. I'm bamboozled at the fact that nobody seems to want to question his relationship seriously with Raven. I just don't get it. That's not so Raven. That's too much. That's so Raven.
What happened?
Well, a lot of drinking is what happened. I was drinking a lot. You know, you still got the crystal meth incident that I had. So, you know, and I started to sell it.
Orlando Brown, Walter White. All we need is like, you know, some black, and then we got the whole trifecta of people selling meth in the area. This man broke bad in Disney, Orlando, Florida. I don't know if he was in Florida. I'm just saying that, God damn it, meth of all things, you're messing with the ice. That is really bad, man. Selling the ice. So you're telling me he broke bad before Breaking Bad was a thing. Or perhaps when Breaking Bad came out, Orlando Brown said to himself, this dude's bald. I am too at the moment. Let me try. God, man. What is up with like his crew? What is up with his posse? What is up with the people around him that are not gonna like look at him dead in the eye and say that you have a great career, you have a good thing going, you have something where you're truly blessed in life to be in a position that not everybody's in, and you can't mess that up. Selling meth is at best a great show. It's not a good life decision. That's really sad that Orlando Brown resorted to that. And you just have to ask yourself, who are the people around him that let him make those decisions? And why did nobody tell him to stop? Imagine if that was on Disney. I'm selling meth, Raven. I'm selling meth. And she's like, she has the vision. She's like, Eddie, you're gonna fuck your life up. And then he's like, oh, I'm sorry, Raven. Hey, man, I'm gonna, here's the meth. Whew! Eddie kicked it out in the trash. And that's it. That should have been the episode. Eddie sells meth. Why didn't they have that episode on Disney, huh? Why don't they teach kids actual life lessons instead of this weird shit that they teach them?
And the demons that come with that drug, you know, kind of took over. So I'm glad I kicked that. So today I'm glad to say I'm 4 years sober.
Can't say that when you're high. Because I know he's going to be like, I'm 4 years sober of meth. I didn't say I wasn't high. You got to try, Orlando. I mean, I know that deep down, I feel like if he erases all those things and he's fully aware of his surroundings, I think he'd be back and doing some good stuff. Because the talent's always been there, and it'll always be there. And he just needs an opportunity and some good people around him who will show him the fact that, you know, everyone still cares for him. You don't need Dr. Full, because he's gonna just ruin this.
How many children do you have?
Quite a bit, but 4 that I know of.
How old are your children?
My kids are 2. One is 5, and one is
Oh no, he's struggling. Whenever you put your head up and you try and ask God for things, one is Bacon, 13, whew. And the other one, he's black.
One is actually 11, and the oldest is like 16 to 18.
Oh man, he just guessed that one. My oldest child is approximate age 36 BC to 1462, and that's my child. What's the names? All of them named Charlie. That's what I named them so I can remember in moments like this.
Okay. 16 or 18?
Yeah, one of the two.
You're not sure?
Not sure till I get in front of their faces.
What's your 2-year-old's name?
The 2-year-old's name, actually Shyler.
Man, he's really struggling. Dr. Full is really, he's doing a psychosis on him. He's like, I'm gonna get you with some gotcha journalism later. I'm gonna tell you about the kids. And he thinks that Orlando Brown, by not remembering, is gonna be like, oh shit, I fucked up. Orlando Brown's gonna find excuses because he's high. A high man will find excuses for anything. I never heard a truthful sorry man when he's high. Only when you sober up are you like, damn, why'd I do that? Right now, this man is on cloud 9, literally.
And is that a girl or a boy?
That's a little girl.
What's your 5-year-old's name?
Orlando Jr., actually.
What's the 11-year-old's name?
My 11-year-old's name.
Yeah, you had to laugh even. What, my 11-year-old name?
I gotta figure that one out, but if I had to name him anything, it'd be John.
Yeah, if you had to name him. All right, well, hopefully you name some of the kids. They've been 10, 11 years. They've been in school. People have just been calling them the whole time because nobody named your damn kids. At least try. John was a pretty unoriginal name, I gotta be honest with you.
What do you mean if you had to name him, he doesn't have a name?
Nah, I mean, like, I haven't met all my children yet.
Oh, really?
I only seen Mason when he was little.
So his name's Mason then. Okay, so he did have a name. All right.
But as far as the little girls and everything, I haven't met them yet.
Yeah. What's the 16-year-old's name?
Don't even know that either.
Okay, so we're just gonna avoid the fact that he fully remembered his kid's name and said it.
If I had to name him anything, it'd be John.
Oh,
I
really?
only seen Mason when he was little.
And Dr. Full is like, not even gonna acknowledge. Okay, cool. We're just breezing past this one. You could see this man is just high. I feel like it's pretty evident Dr. Full probably should have some sort of strategic way of dealing with that. I think he's well aware and he knows that Orlando Brown is come there with like substance. And, you know, I don't know what's going to happen, but Dr. Full needs to actually work something out. He's also wearing a pearl necklace, which is just sensational.
What's your full name?
My full name is Orlando Brown, Prince Michael Jackson Jr., and that's AKA Blanket.
So what's...
All right, no, I guess that was pretty funny. It's a hell of a name. I like that the music is constantly like Pirates of the Caribbean level of like terrorizing. Every time he says something, people are like, dun, 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 dun. I don't even know my name. If you just played some high music over this or added some zooms, this would be one of the funniest interviews of all time. But Dr. Full will go on and be like, he doesn't know his name, guys. He's crazy. He's mentally ill.
Prince Michael Jackson Jr.
Well, it's my nickname I gave to myself because, yeah, my father was Michael Jackson, great Michael Jackson, so.
Oh, that's a new development in life.
Your father was Michael Jackson. Your father was Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just say like it's a normal. My father was Michael Jackson. All right then. Let's move on. I guess we figured that one out.
How do you know he's your father?
Well, you hear through the grapevine.
Well, that's Marvin Gaye, actually, you know. Heard it through the grapevine. How much longer would you be mine? You know. But Orlando Gaye would sound way worse, I'll be honest with you.
You know, I used to always wonder why I'm so astronomically blessed and gifted when it comes to being talented.
I love how they have a picture of Michael Jackson dancing and they have one of Orlando Brown dancing and it looks like he's trying to sidekick someone and missed. It doesn't look even close. I love how demeaning that one was. That was just a very, very, very low.
You know, I rap, sing, and I do everything immaculately. The eyes. So, yeah.
Yeah, the look of Dr. Full is exactly the same one I have. I don't even know what the eyes mean. I think what he means is in Thriller, Michael Jackson had different eyes. I guess Orlando Brown thinks he's Michael Jackson's. So Billie Jean really was a great song. Michael Jackson covered all his bases. As soon as he said, the kid is not my son, he knew people like this would exist and he's like, fuck that, I'm Michael Jackson. Hee. It's not a fucking joke though.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I just like to come in there and act like the boss every once in a while.
He laughs and it's like so painful. Oh man, you'd never see it coming. Orlando Brown's laugh might be the best thing about him. I'm sorry, but I love it.
The police were called, but they dropped everything and dismissed the whole case. Then I got into an argument with my girlfriend, but they tried to pin a domestic on me.
So yeah, Orlando Brown explains his problems, his substance abuse, and a lot of other things. And now it's Dr. Full's time to help him. And you know Dr. Full and how he helps people.
If I give you this check to hit the reset button and start over.
I would go to school.
Okay.
You need help, and I'd like to help you by helping you. That's Dr. Full's advice. He sugarcoats people and then tries to get them to help. I don't think this is what Orlando Brown needs.
There are long-term effects when we do crystal meth.
Yes, there are, Dr. Full. Yes, there are. You know what, buddy? There's some long-term effects from doing things like crystal meth. I watched this documentary called Breaking Bad. I actually talked to the guy myself. He's doing fine now. He's an actor. But back then, he was selling meth. He was crazy. I said, you need to go get some help, buddy. And he said, Dr. Phil, I've been acting for many years, and you're in my way. I don't know really what the point of that was, but you need to stop doing meth, or start acting, or do both.
Good chance that what you've been through has caused you to have some neurological disruption.
Don't show that photo while saying neurological disruption. Don't show, just stop hating on my boy Eddie.
And I think that you need some treatment for that. And I think in a very short time, you can get back to being the Orlando that has been so successful.
So, Dr. Full's help is that you need to go get some therapy. You need to go check yourself into rehab. The problem is that Orlando Brown already had done that. And clearly, it hasn't worked. Because if it did work, this dude wouldn't be high turning up to a national television interview like this. So something along those lines didn't go well. So how about we try a different plan, Dr. Full? You can't keep, as they say, you can't beat a dead horse. And then as, my friend says, you can't beat a dead horse off, because that's even worse than beating a dead horse, which is true. So don't do either of the things, Dr. Full. You need to actually sit there and help him. Your help somehow seems to be sending people away and not actually talking to them one-on-one. He actually made the effort to come here, so I feel like you should have helped him in the chair, not sent him away. And clearly he's not receptive to this.
Kids, other than I need you. I don't need that crap like other people. It's a slap in the face to people that actually need it.
So you want to get back to your kids?
Yes.
And how old are your kids?
I got 2.
Oh, now he's doing the gotcha journalism. Oh, so you want to get back to your kids? Well, if you could tell me their names and ages, maybe I'll let you get back to your kids.
2-year-old, 2-year-old, 5-year-old. I think it's 8 and 11.
All right.
Yeah, fuck that 16 to 18-year-old. You don't even need that person.
Now, and what's the 2-year-old's name?
2-year-old, still in the belly. Still in the belly, we don't know yet.
Can I show you something?
Yeah.
Y'all need to take that kid out, man. That's been too long in the oven there. The kid was born last time we talked, but all right. Have you ever talked to someone and the kid gets younger? What is your kid, Benjamin Button or something? How old's your kid? Younger than yesterday, Bob. All right then, Tim. I'm gonna see you later. Never.
What's the 2-year-old's name? You said Shyler.
Okay.
The 5-year-old is Mason.
Right.
The 11-year-old is John.
I thought the 5-year-old was Orlando Brown Jr. What? Dr. Full wasn't even listening. This motherfucker didn't even listen. Holy shit, I listened more than Dr. Full. He said his other kid was named Orlando Brown Jr. Then he said he didn't know what the other one was called. Then somehow named him Mason. He said, if I had to guess, John. And then said his actual name was Mason. And he said he has no idea what the 16 to 18-year-old kid is. Could be anything.
You said the 2-year-old don't know the name because it's still in the belly.
That's because I have a baby on the way as well.
The 2-year-old is still in the belly, so that means that child has been in there for 2 years.
Not necessarily.
No, that's what it means. That's exactly what that means. Y'all need to take that kid out. Okay, we're just gonna ignore the fact that he's like, not necessarily. Dr. Full's like, touche, Andre. Let me get on to the next point. You're right. Maybe it doesn't mean that. Happy birthday, Orlando. Not necessarily. Touche, maybe it isn't your birthday. Well, happy birthday to everyone else except you. Damn. How you doing, Orlando? Good? Not necessarily. Yeah, you're right. It might be a bad day. God damn it, this guy's smart.
As a father still trying to jump back into that life and figure out who everybody is, you can't ridicule me for not knowing exactly.
I'm not ridiculing you. Hey, Doc.
How you doing, sir?
So then Dr. Full is like, damn, this guy is too smart. He's an evil supervillain level smart. I need to bring in some help. So then he brings in another doctor, which often makes someone who's maybe in trouble feel like they're scared. And whenever you get more people involved in someone's life who doesn't feel like they have full control, it automatically you get defensive. I know this. I've been through this. I've seen and shared those experiences. I know that comfort is probably the most necessary thing in order to get the information that you require from a patient or person. And you're just not comforting him by bringing more random people who are like, we're going to help you. This is what happens. And Dr. Full doesn't know that. And then he brings another old crusty white guy out. Now they're multiplying on one black guy who's sitting here like, damn it, this is like Disney all over again. But you think he's gonna say yes? Of course not. It's like a bad proposal. He's not saying yes.
Do some evaluation, do some beautiful
Yeah, that sounds
place.
cool, but I don't have the time right now.
Yeah.
Give him a great place to stay.
Oh, they brought in the other dude. Now they're like, yeah, bring in a black guy. They brought in his manager. Now he's sitting there and everyone's trying to intervene on him. They're having a mini intervention. I don't like surprise interventions. I don't think it works.
And work on himself while he's there. And he says,
Look at him. Look at his face. Did you see that face? That's the face of, I don't really have time right now. Sorry, man. Gotta see my kids. My 5-year-old, my 10-year-old, my 36-year-old, my 4-year-old, the one who's getting younger every day. I gotta see all of them.
okay.
All right.
If I can help you sometime, you let me know.
All right, you got it.
I think you need a break.
No. I think, honestly,
And then as he goes outside, there's another person who is trying to be like, just go to Malibu and get some help. They're trying to get him back to rehab. And he's saying, no. He just went to smoke in the bathroom. And then they're like, you need actual help.
I had a break. Honestly, I need people to stop nagging me about what they think I should do because I'm ready and I feel like I'm getting picked on and bullied on because I know what's going on.
Yep, let me write that down because that's absolutely right. When trying to help someone, it's just like I said, important to make them feel comfortable. It's important to make them feel like they are able to be heard because their words are all they have. Orlando Brown's going through some shit. You don't need 4 or 5 people in suits telling you what you need when you think you know what you need. You need people who really are going to sit there, nurture you, comfort you, and try and help you. And that's what the man needed. That's all he needed. Dr. Full using that gotcha journalism and making him feel bad about himself is just not going to put him in a position to want to get help. He knows that he's not doing certain things correctly. What we need to identify is how can we help you? How can we get you to the position you need to be? Or at least get you into the first step in order to get to the position you need to be. It's not like it's gonna happen overnight. The changes it's gonna take some time. I just don't know how Dr. Full doesn't know this stuff. He's been a psychologist longer than he's been bald. That should say something. He should know this.
I think that we're gonna be heading out to Malibu and he's gonna get the treatment that he needs. I feel really relieved because first of all, if he didn't do this, I was gonna have to leave him.
Yeah, but he is on YouTube, TMZ, and everywhere else. And as your manager, why have you let him talk to Vlad and everyone else about this? Why, if you're his manager, why aren't you helping him with how his image is being portrayed? If you know how he's coming off to everyone. It seems like you're a shit manager, bro. I just don't like the way this guy's operating. So anyway, that ends as he goes off to Malibu and gets rehab. People think that, he'll be fine. Clearly, he's not fine because he comes back and he's worse. As usual, Dr. Full did fucking jack all to help this guy.
What's up, everybody? We are back for a...
So, he then goes on another interview a year later. He's on all deaf media, and he is looking like he has not improved.
Special, very special, probably the biggest ever edition of Ask Her with the legendary Orlando Brown.
Now, I don't really love the hosts of this. I appreciate them, but I feel like they're being yes men throughout this whole interview. And they're just like, Orlando knows what he's saying. He knows what he's doing. And I don't think that is the way to go about it either. Like I said at the start, I don't think the people who are just egging him on are right. And I don't think the people who are saying he's completely and mentally ill are right either. I think there's a happy medium that we need to reach and be tough with him on certain subjects and also be okay on other subjects. But these are just people who are like, yes, Orlando, you do you, boo. And it's just, you could see that this man's hurting.
Why do you think kids involved in the entertainment industry get such a bad reputation?
Because they don't even know what a reputation is. And I'm not perfect. Ain't nobody perfect in this room, but guess what?
That's very true. Nobody knows what a reputation is. Nobody really knows how to handle it. In Gen Z, it's easier because people are getting famous younger and people are just accustomed to that lifestyle. But especially back in the day, or 10, 15 years ago, it wasn't as easy. Nobody knew how to handle the certain aspects before, after, and during. And clearly it's taken a toll on this man. So,
does he do drugs? We need answers now.
Does he do drugs? Yes, I smoke fucking weed.
okay, awesome.
You dig what I mean? I just smoked a blunt right now. Y'all seen me when I was getting my hair cut. A fat one too. And I used to sell crystal meth, and I know how to cook.
Ah, there it is. There it is. There it is. There it is.
Cook cocaine.
Did you use any of them?
Right. There it is. There's the issue. It's not the weed, it's everything else. What this man needs is a group of people around him who's gonna say, no, Orlando, you can't be doing that. You can't be messing your life up. I don't care what you say. I'm gonna take precedence over that because I care about you and I love you, and I'm not gonna let you fuck up your life. You're not gonna sit here and let you do that. That's what you need. You need a real friend. And all you got is these yes men in Hollywood who are like, oh, so you wanna do that? Do that. It makes for better entertainment. That's real sad.
Use any of those or just
now, did I use any of them?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I think I've said this answer, no. Now, the cocaine part, I'm gonna have to retract, because,
Damn it, Orlando. You just said no. I'm gonna have to say no, I did not do any of it. I said I sold it, and I'm gonna have to retract half of that statement because I did it. I just remembered that I still do. And sorry about that. Just forget that last statement, please.
I did, I was in my rock star days, so I did sniff a couple. I did some coke, okay? I did some coke. It's America's fucking coffee. Come on. I mean, hey!
That was hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. That was very funny.
It's like, do you like Scarface the movie?
F my fame. How did you come up with that?
Well, because
F my fame. How did you come up with that? That's an interesting name. F my fame. How'd you come up with that? I'm not a yes fan. I'm just saying. Oh, if I could bend my legs and put them over my head right now. Seriously? Can you guys ask him, if you're gonna have an interview with him, can you at least ask the pressing questions? Can you do something that needs to be said? Can anybody sit Orlando Brown down and be like, hey, this is what I think you need, buddy. And yeah, you may not agree, but it's gonna hit your head at some point. As long as I say this information, like bullets, they're gonna reach their targets.
You about to change the world today with this brand new single.
But all I'm saying is you gonna love this shit.
One night, baby, is all anybody encore. Two-tone, maybe I'm ballin' just like a downpour. 3 more women that call me till you get insecure. 4, 5 on me if you walk out the door. One night, baby, is all anybody encore. Two-tone, maybe I'm ballin' just like a downpour. 3 more baddies that call me till you get insecure. 4, 5.
ADD is doing this interview to make the company valid.
No. ADD, how about this? ADD. I'm over at ADD. I feel like I got ADD.
How about this? I feel like I got ADD. Have you ever thought maybe he could play the Joker and they don't give him a script? It just is a Black Joker now. He could be called Black Joker for all we know. Oh my God, it's Black Joker. He's like, why are you in Gotham? Stop calling me Black Batman. You're black too. Yeah, but this is a suit. Like, come on. Whoa. They should do that.
But it's like, I love doing Kevin Hart. Wait a minute.
Yeah, like even those, I mean, it's just really hard to look at the interviewers laugh and like pretend that they care or even feel a certain type of way about him. I feel like from a kitchen in Australia, I somehow feel like I care more about this person and his well-being than 2 people who are just trying to squeeze like the life out of an interview out of him. And it's just, I don't know about that.
Question for you, Orlando, from the comments. This is a common question. And let me preface this with what Dave Chappelle. A lot of people are like, is Orlando Brown crazy? Dave Chappelle.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. Crazy doesn't even exist. Now, crazy there's only insane.
Yep.
Okay, there's deranged. Okay, we can break it down into 5150.
A few moments later.
Well, that's exactly how my personality is perceived. You see what I mean?
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I lost my train of thought very, very much into the fact that I just noticed he's holding an Oscar in one hand.
They're saying the right word, but the wrong, definition of what they're looking at.
Someone should play him in a movie. He should play him in a movie. He might win the Oscar.
In the name of Jesus, I rebuke all them. Don't get no fucking tattoo of me, bitch, on your titty when I die.
Okay, I'm not gonna get a tattoo of your titty. Did Jesus really say I rebuke these N-words? I got the Old Testament. I need the newer one. I need the updated one. God damn it. Is Drake in it?
Is there anything in your career that made you start using drugs? Like, was it being in Hollywood?
Me personally, I'm a fucking rock star. I've been places that nobody's been in this room.
Probably the ER, man. Come on.
Start fucking with a bad bitch that did it, you know? and she said, if you want to hit it, you going to sniff it off my titty.
And that's where you were like, well,
I said, well, yeah, she was a bad bitch. And you start reading too much.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know what to say. Whenever you could say the words, you start reading and then laugh like a seal because it hurts. You gotta question yourself. Yeah. This is Orlando Brown, probably the worst I've seen him. Like, at this point is when it's like, what is he doing? Where is his parents? Where are the people? They need to protect this man. It's tough to see, man.
They say, can you explain?
I ate her pussy.
Okay. That's what
Yep, okay. Well, at least someone asked what that meant. Thank you.
I had the nam cakes.
Right, okay. Thank you for the further explanation. Nam cakes, never heard that one before. Never want to again.
I went inside the land of the man that wants to go inside if he can, but couldn't do it, man. But I did. I said I could do it and I can. Imagine that as the...
Yeah, this is you know what? Someone should win an Oscar. If I ever win an Oscar, I'm gonna do this. Remind me. I plan on winning one anyway, so this will be fantastic. I'm gonna lick that dude's head. No!
Imagine that as the clit, man. See, we're gonna take it to another level.
What level do you want to take it to? Why you sucking on a guy's head? I don't get it. It's just to be provocative. It's just Orlando thinks that he's doing this and he's getting attention so he could then go back and show his music to other people. It's all to get fame. It's all to get back to that place that he was in when he was younger, where he felt maybe more safe and secure. It's all before the drugs. It's all before things went wrong. And it's hard to explain to a man that you can't go back to that. You're not gonna have that, but you can have this. You can be a good dad. You could be a good person. You could get back to that place. If you look at my man, Brendan Fraser, he's making a comeback. He's in some new movies. He's gonna win an Oscar. We're gonna love that. That's the man right there. You can make the comeback, Orlando. You can make the comeback without licking a fake statue's head.
Fuck it, let's go. It's like this. You know, you have to hold it, you flip it, and it comes on you. Legs this way. You go, and then
you don't have to show me. This is his audition for The Exorcist 2. That's it. That's The Exorcist 2. It's a jazz musical where he has oral sex with ghosts. It's a great movie. Yeah.
Because she said you like it, and so she said you like it. I said yay. She said yay.
Yay.
Yeah, you like it. I said yay.
Yay.
Don't please. I know just what you're thinking, so just stop believing. You know what I mean?
I don't know anything you mean. I don't even understand what the hell just happened. I can't believe they let it happen. I don't know what's happening. You gonna talk now?
Oh, get it.
Baby, make your booty go down.
He really is doing a Miley Cyrus.
Did this shit in order to be strategically known as a genius and a fucking visionary. Don't play with me.
Yeah, and we end the interview with him repeating the same thing, that he did this on purpose. He did this on purpose. And I don't believe it. Because in that interview, he also talks about the same exact thing. He talks about the Million Kid March, and people who are not really listening are like, yeah, that sounds pretty good, Orlando. And you know that they don't care. But anybody actually listening is like, why is he saying this? But nobody's actually thinking about that. They're just like, Orlando Brown, crazy dude, has crazy things to say. Let's move on. So that was a few years ago. And we take it back to this year, 2022. Not too long ago, he did another interview. This time, he agreed to be on a show. And honestly, I watched the interview. I thought it was amazing. I think this channel's dope. The interview is dope. And they asked him some real hard questions while also making the thing funny. And that's where he said the comment about Bow Wow. But let's take a look at some of it.
You went from this to this.
Hey, guess what? Guess who's there with me? You can see at the bottom. It's Raven. Right at the bottom.
You went from this to this.
Hey, guess what? Guess who's there with me? You can see at the bottom. It's Raven. Right at the bottom.
That's a horrible tattoo of Raven, by the way. That looks more like Whoopi Goldberg. But anyway.
What's your relationship with Nick Cannon?
Yeah, that's my boy.
Could you call him right now?
Hi, Nick. How are you?
I'm saying take your phone out and call Nick.
I'm saying, why won't you just tell everybody that you are?
So I'm looking at this interview and I thought that it was interesting to bring up this last one where he says some crazy stuff, but it looks like this interview went decently. It looks like Orlando Brown was in on the joke and he knew what he was doing. And before this, he was on an interview on No Jumper podcast a few months back where he reflected pretty well and he looked healthier and happier and more sober and more clean. So I think that's worth noting that he is trying.
When's the last time you watched 106 in Park?
Last time it was hot.
What's the weather? What's the weather today, y'all?
When Little Bow Wow was on there.
You got a problem with Little Bow Wow?
I ain't got a problem with Little Bow Wow. Little Bow Wow got some bomb ass pussy.
So that is the comment that led everyone to ask, why is Orlando Brown the way that he is? It's where it led me to start this whole thing, and it's where it ends. That is where I ended my search for what is up with Orlando Brown. And the things that I found is that he is just someone who was troubled since being a child actor trying to transition into adulthood. He was unfortunately inflicted with drugs, and he probably had too many yes men around him. Judging by the interviews that I've seen, people did not want to take on the responsibility of trying to make sure that he was okay. And that combination probably led him to where he is today. It's really unfortunate. The sad thing is that it happens to so many Disney stars and so many young stars because they're not able to be protected by people. Nobody's really telling them what they should do or how they could be or how they could make the correct transition. Now the story ends almost happily because I saw that he was in a new movie in 2022 called Bloody Hands, and he was starring as Detective Brown. Yes, that's right. Orlando Brown starring as Detective Brown in an action movie called Bloody Hands. And I actually looked up the film, and he's one of the lead characters. And then I looked up the Facebook and it said Bloody Hands movie. It looks really cool. You know, they had a trailer in 2017. That was cool. It says 2022 directed by Jaden Huang with Orlando Brown. And when I looked it up, unfortunately, well, it said it was going to come out like 5 years ago. And it still hasn't. It's been 7 years since they have been teasing this movie. I don't think you can tease something with 7 years. I don't think you can tease anything for 7 years and not release it. That's not too good. So unfortunately, that's bittersweet. So where are we left off? At the end of the day, all we could say is that Orlando Brown is a person who needs help and support. The only thing that I think we can do as people or society is take a look at how we treat other people and try and be kind and nurturing towards them. Yes, he's funny. He says a lot of provocative things, but if you look at the underneath the surface, you'll find that it's probably a man asking for help. And I think if he sobers up fully and has time with his kids, he'll realize how important not only they are to him, but how important he is to them. And before I end, I will leave you with this one quote from the amazing Dave Chappelle. He said something that sat with me for the rest of my life and always will. In an interview, someone asked him about being famous and what happens when you don't get famous. And he looked at them and said, "You can't get unfamous, but you can get infamous." And that's what Orlando Brown has been trying to do. I hope his path is better. I hope he finds whatever he's looking for. Best of luck to him. He's always a legend in my books, and I hope that he takes care. If you see this, Orlando, we're rooting for you. Thank you. I've been Kitchen Leo. I'll see you on the next one. If you liked it, subscribe and play it is cool. All right, bye.
She ain't even gotta ask, she did a dash and bit it last. You know a dash and she know. Baby,